welcome to a special Pancake Day edition of the Wacky Kitchen. Today obviously I'll be making some pancakes. You won't be able to see on the table due to the camera angle, but it's more of an angle to capture the flipping of pancakes because that was what was requested. You know, just because it might be funny and I might drop it everywhere. So yeah, but I mean what I'm going to do first is I've got some orange flavoured olive oil and I thought I'd use that to heat up and cook with in order to give the pan sort of an orangey flavour. Obviously you want to make sure that your pan is quite hot before you actually put your pancakes in, otherwise it kind of fails. So I'll turn that on now. And while that's doing, I will get on with making pancake. First you'll need an egg. Doesn't matter if you break the yolk, but one whole egg. Has about 200-300 ml of water. The next part is flour. Obviously you're going to want to add lots of flour, but there's only so much that you can add at a time into your container, so you want to add a bit, whisk it up. I'm going to use an electric whisk, just because it does the job quicker and easier. Obviously you want to do it in stages because you can always add more flour than take it out, you know. And you don't want it too soggy, but you want it the right consistency. And also it's easier to whisk it in small amounts and keep adding a bit extra, because then you don't get it as clumpy, and especially if you're doing it by hand you'll end up with big clumps. And also it just won't fly everywhere if you're using an electric whisk. I mean, some people might use other ingredients. They might use milk, for example, or cream, but this is your basic mix. I mean, if you want a more airy batter, then by all means use sparkling water instead of just tap water, which I use, or still water if you prefer, but your choice. I mean, you could probably make a beer batter pancake if you want. I mean, that would be something different. I'm sure it would still work. It's no different than, you know, just ordinary batter, but with, you know, you do it with beer in your pancake mix instead of water. you want a good thick solid mixture, and that's ready to go. But I mean, that's your standard pancake mix. But I'm going to modify this slightly to make, I'm going to make two different kinds of pancakes today. I'm going to make a sweet kind and I'm going to make a savoury kind. Because it is pancake day and, you know, you want the theme of pancakes. Because originally it was to do with using up what you had left in your lather on your pancakes. It never used to be sweet stuff, it used to be anything that you had left in, you know, savoury, just to give it up for lunch because you're supposedly not supposed to eat, you know, that's what the thing was. So I'm going to add a bit of vanilla flavoured custards. Obviously it's solid because it's cold. If it was warm it would be runny. But not too much because otherwise it will not set as a pancake. But you want enough in there to, you know, flavour the pancake for the sweet sort of pancake that I'm doing. So yeah, I think everything's on track so far. Now hopefully, because I've warmed my pan up in advance, I shouldn't get the thing that people normally get where the first pancake is a flop, because normally the first one doesn't go so good. So if you warm your pan up, that should preferably prevent that from happening. Now what I originally planned to do was to add some crumbled up love hearts over the top, but instead I've got some sherbet which I got cheap, so I'm going to sprinkle that on top instead. But I'm still going to go with my story that I was going to tell, because one time at uni, one of my mates brought in some love hearts and we spread them out over the table, and this was in some artsy-fartsy class with the teacher. It was silly things like, you know, personality types, and we really didn't do a lot. It was sort of stories and stupid things, and he was a very, very touchy-feely teacher, and we were eating the love hearts and reading out what was on them to each other and eating them. And then the teacher comes along and decides, oh, I want to join in. And there's one that we picked out which had some really derogatory, horrible message on it. And I was like, no, I'm not eating that. And then he goes and picks up that one. And then me and Joe, we just started giggling. Oh, it was crazy. But yeah, I'll read you some of these. Cheeky boy. My hero, only you, love bug, will you, say yes, wash lips, email me, I get mother, my boy, I love you, just say no, and new love. No soggy derogatory ones in this pack. I'm allowed to do that, I'm not serving it to anyone. I'm like, right, I've got my celebrity chef nicknames. I'm sure you've seen Hugh Finn, you still on TV, and he's always double dipping, and you see he doesn't tie his hair back and anything, and so my nickname for him is Hugh Finn eats fatting salt, or twitting salt, whatever you want. And there's Jamie Olive Oil, because he adds olive oil to absolutely everything, not just a little bit of it, lots and lots, and so much that was giving me indigestion. Because, I mean, even just a slight amount of grease makes my stomach go a bit dodgy, so if I covered my food in that olive oil he did, I'd probably be less. Then there's Gordon rams it down your throat because he goes off on one a lot. You know, I could come up with more, but they're the basic few. I remember in primary school, this was very, very early primary school, probably year 2, that there was this assembly that we were called up to do some pancake flicking competition. I'd never done this before then, so I was kind of confused what to do, and everyone else dropped their pancake and there was me, I just flipped it miles in the air and I was the only one that caught it. Of course we were year 2s, but that's beside the point. Nearly lost that one. But yeah, that came out alright, it didn't stick too much, it didn't fall apart. So yeah, that's your basic pancake. What I'm going to do is, everyone does golden syrup on it. I'm going to put a small amount of jam. I'm just realising I probably should have sliced my pears in advance. So I shall have to be quick slicing now, and probably off screen, which will be quite boring. Yeah, I was going to dice these into tiny little squares. Now, I'll just quickly do one to show you. And they're not going to be as diced as finely as I was going to do them, because obviously that might take longer, especially as I prepared stuff. Ooh, there goes half the batter. I think I'll flip that one manually, as the bottom's good enough to flip, but the top was, I laid that pancake a bit too thick with the mixture, and there's now a blob on the wall. But that's all that part of the fun, apparently. So yeah, I've got jam and thicker pear pieces than I was planning. I'm now going to roll that up. If you have a thick one and you catch it halfway between the flip, it snaps in half. Right, I'm kind of rambling now. I'm going to put a little bit of custard over the top. Sprinkle of sherbet. Excuse the licking of fingers. That is really a thick pancake. So I'm going to put the jam on this one in the thing. Just because there's not much room on that plate. And the added custard over the top is to give it a little extra custard flavour just in case the batter doesn't have it. That one may not even roll, it's so thick. Yeah, that's just falling apart. Right, so I can't do what I was planning to do with that to make it look pretty. Yeah, when you put your mixture on, make sure you spread it thin and not too thick. Unless you're just doing it normal with syrup on, of course, then by all means do it thick. But if you're planning on doing rolling of pancakes and other fancy things, then a thick pancake will not work. Right, so the thick one's going to go underneath now. I'm making a gigantic mess. So you'll have to excuse that, so I hope you don't mind. Generous sprinkle of shears. I'm not going to waste it, so of course I'm going to leave nothing in. Because I've never been an expert cream squirter, but there is one example of pancakes. Because I'm going to finish off my sweet pancakes mixture. And I will show you with that also how to make your own syrup. I'm going to put some lemon in mine. I was going to juggle a couple of lemons and limes, but I thought one giant lemon was plenty for my purposes, so I didn't bother buying extra, because otherwise I would have attempted to juggle them and bounce them off the walls, and it doesn't matter if you drop them, because what you plan on doing is rolling it anyway to get all the juices ready to go. If you're going to use the zest, which I'm not, make sure it's an unwaxed one like this. I'm fairly sure it's unwaxed, it doesn't look it, it's not that pretty. Usually you can tell if they're too pretty, they're the waxed ones. If they're not pretty at all, then they're not waxed. There's me watching a screen rather than Pancake. Always watch your Pancake when you're flicking it. But that I will come back to, and the cream sort of died now because of it being warm. I will eat a bit whilst we're doing that to see what it tastes like. I'll start with this thick one because that's obviously going to not come out as I planned. You can taste the sherbet. So it's a good change to ice and sugar. I mean, ice and sugar is just for decoration, but if you use the sherbet, it's for decoration and you can taste it. And now I have a slightly deformed pancake because it's developed an air pocket for some reason. The ones that I've done, the last of these sweet ones, I'm putting these to the side in another pan. Then I will get on with the savoury ones and I will show you what I'm doing different. For the savoury ones I'm going to start with the same base of egg, water, flour, and then I'm going to add other ingredients in instead of the sweet stuff to make it more savoury suitable. If you're not going to cut your pear into tiny chunks, I'd probably soften it up or use banana. But whatever you like, really. So you get a hint of the vanilla-y taste through. So probably is worth adding the custard, but it's your judgment call whether you want to or not. I mean, if you're doing it out of a tin as well, you want to pre-mix it, whereas I've got this stuff that I can seal away and reuse. So. I'd definitely say save any ambitious flips for when you've actually cooked both sides of the pancake, because otherwise it doesn't go so good, especially if you're trying to catch it on a particular side or another. That's where you mess up. Not the most interesting watching these, but I might possibly edit this out. And also, it makes a change from syrup. A different plate for the savoury kind. I'm going to put a little part of lettuce, but I'll save that till actually I've cooked them. Because obviously I want room on the actual plate to roll pancakes. I'm obviously not flipping these too high because I've got a low ceiling and I don't want to hit, especially the light bulb, as I can hit. Last of the sweet mixture going in now. And this is going to be a slightly bigger deformed pancake, but hey, it might stick to the edges a little bit. Right now I've pre-made some extra, just to save the boringness of watching me mix flour and egg and water again. I've also added a little bit of salt and pepper to it already. You could add that to your sweet one, it might make a difference. Apparently adding salt to sweet stuff brings out the sweet flavours. So you could also use some of the orange olive oil in it to give it the orangey flavour rather than cook it in the pan, because obviously only the first one had a bit of that, the others not so much. Because obviously the oil would have cooked into the mixture by then. I've got some cheesy water. I'm going to crumble a bit of this in. Heck, I don't really need to crumble it. I can just drop a large chunk and whisk it. because it's sticking to my fingers. Don't do that by all means if you're cooking for other people. Because, you know, hand to mouth contamination and all that. If you're eating it yourself, it don't matter. But keep firmly with install, don't double dip, don't lick your fingers. I was going to add some mustard seeds to that, but I've left them in the other room, so I shall not bother. Yeah, this one needs a bit of freeing up because it's climbed up the pan a bit. I know it's not a stick, but hey, you know, sometimes you need to give it a bit of encouragement to get off. Okay, so now that's my savoury batter. What else am I going to use in this? I'm going to clean up some of my sweet ingredients out of the way first. I use enough hard decoration on my sweet one just for the hell of it and fun. But yeah, you can do whatever you like with it, have fun with it, you know. Choose. You're cooking it, it's your choice. That's the loose pieces of pancake fly everywhere. Definitely going to need to clean up after this. Yeah, you can have pancakes all day, do pancake day if you want. Sweet for breakfast, savoury for lunch, and for dinner, a mix of the two. And you can put whatever you want in them, you know, have like a sweet fruity one for breakfast, have savoury vegetarian or, you know, whatever filling you want as lunch, and then have sweet syrupy and savoury meaty for dinner. Yeah, these loose bits are annoying. I'm not going to float that in too much, it will fling it everywhere. So now I'm putting my savoury mixture on. This is the first ever time I've tried this, so it could go wrong. Like when I first tried putting a jammy mixture as a sweet one, I put some jam in and that fails completely as a pancake. As the cheese in this, because I mean, God knows what's going to happen. But here's hoping. So, I've got that. I will also, well I have, pre-cooked off some meat and peppers and onion, but it's cold at the moment, so I'll need to warm that back up on the cooker as well. Couldn't think of anything else to do. I mean, I could eat again, but like, yeah, you don't want to watch me eating all day, do you? And then I will be putting it on a plate, rolling it up, and you could have this with mashed potato if you want, if you're having it as a dinner, you know, a little bowl of mashed potato, you know, pancake cut in half, decorated like a chef does it, and all that crap, you know. Pancake-based celebration. Make it look good, have a celebration of it. I don't know why they don't do it on, you know, menus at places that have pancake-based specials, especially mentioning Starbucks. Surely they can think of something special to do with it. Like, look what I'm doing, that's, you know, I'm inventing it. It's not rocket science. And these are actually tasting quite good so far. This cheesy batter's actually working quite good as well. It has not gone wrong. It looks like a pancake. It feels like a pancake. In fact, it's actually worked out thinner than the other pancakes came out, so that's a bonus. What I'm putting in it is brown sauce, some more water, and my mixture of peppers and onions and meat spices. Obviously you're going to want to keep it thin because I'm going to roll it up later. Don't put too much filling in because that'll just make a gigantic mess. And try and spread it out evenly as well, because then you'll get a bit between every layer. And obviously if you don't want to damage your pan, it's a good idea to get your next pancake on straight away while it's still warm. And then it's not burning away your pan, it's actually cooking something, which is sensible. Or you could turn your heat off, but then you've got to wait for it to heat back up every time you want to make the next pancake. You can make these in advance, you don't have to make them as you're eating them, but they're best fresh. Here's where I hope I'm recording. Certainly looks like it, but if I'm not, then I'm screwed. I'll just slice mine at a jaunty, chefy angle. Where is my pancake main or lunch? Obviously with the main I'd have a lump of mashed potato, you know, make it pretty, something to enjoy. That's suitable for lunch, that's the perfect size for lunch, one pancake with this stuff in. But if you're greedy you can have more. But there's no reason you shouldn't make your own pancakes. I mean, it's part of the fun of Pancake Day. I mean, why buy it in the shops when you can make it yourself? It tastes nicer, you can have whatever you want from it, nicely freshly cooked. Hey, you can make them in advance cold if you want, you know. Make Canadian bacon for breakfast. Canadian pancakes with bacon, you know. Yeah, why not? I'll use the same spoon. That's really good with the balls lemon. I think I got the mix just right with the meat and the sauce and the cheese. That's really good. If I do say so myself. You know, you shouldn't be too big-headed about it, obviously. But no, I'm really happy with that, how it came out. But try and experiment, you know, use peri-peri sauce in your batter mix or something, and maybe less jam than I did, because maybe if you put a tiny amount of jam it might work. And you have everyone's chocolate powder, or you're drinking chocolate powder and making chocolatey pancakes. They would work good. I don't know if putting sherbet in your pancake mix might make a difference, it might get lost in there. Lemon, yeah, use lemon rinds. Put that in your pancake mix. Mustard seeds, you know. Experiment, have fun with it. You know, there's endless combinations. And Pancake Day next year, you've got to do something different. I'm telling you, try it, have fun with it. I'm not going to roll up my remaining savoury pancakes, but I'm going to save them in the fridge till the next day with the rest of my mixture and, you know, lunch or breakfast. Because sweet pancakes and that'll do me for dinner now. I was going to do this at breakfast and then have them through the day, but a brief repairman came and I didn't want to be pissing about doing this while just dealing with him, so. Yeah, these actually come out a treat with that balsam in. And you can taste it as well. I mean, I'll try a piece on its own because I did add some balsam, but I'm telling you, you can. Yeah, you get the treat in that. So I've got about one more pancake worth of this. So obviously you get like 4 pancakes with the amount of mixture I did. You know, you could always add more water, you could add more flour. Although if you're adding more flour, you'll still want to add more water. And, you know, you might want to add another egg, but mine were fairly big eggs, so they would have done more anyway. I don't know if you can see on the screen that these colour up much better with the balsam in than the other ones did. That's the last of my batter. So what I'm going to do next is find somewhere to put these other sweet ones where they won't get contaminated. Where that plate is. Oh, I don't know. Magic plates. I'm going to need to get the butter out. Don't mind me hiding. Right, so all you really need to make some golden syrup is sugar. melt that down in bits. Butter. Once it starts to disintegrate and become liquid, that's when you want to add generous helping of butter. Stir it in. At that point it will be coloured and make a syrupy mixture, and then that's syrup. Take it off, cook it too long, it will become caramel or toffee. And if you want to flavour it, at that point that's where you add your lemon or lime or whatever flavourings you're going to do. Because that will cool it down and mix into it and give it its flavour. Heck, if I knew that flavour was going to appear out mid-air, I would have put my stuff on that. Obviously I'm using the hotter heat at the moment to finish off the last pancake, then I'll put the sugar on. Not quite done, yes. I mean, maybe, you know, use a really mature cheese in your mixture. I mean, obviously you're going to want to grate it up or melt it in. I mean, if you melt it in it might not work, so you're going to want to really finely grate it if you've got something that isn't a really soft cheese like Boursin. But if you have a stronger cheese, it will give it more flavour. You could use garlic, you could use onion if you want. Put some finely diced onion in it, it'll have little chunks in your pancakes. Probably come out really nice. But yeah, I'm not going to use that pan because obviously toffee caramel could ruin an old. You're going to have a pan that isn't non-stick or that you don't mind getting ruins. That's what you get with caramel syrup and things of that nature. It helps if your pan's an evenly flat shape so that it doesn't cook more in one region than another, which mine appears to be slightly warped. So it's actually going brown in one spot rather than melting evenly, so I'm going to stir it whilst doing it. Going to use jam through instead to put the butter in. Take this off the heat and show you it started to colour up. Actually taken that off the heat completely because it's a little high. Also, if you have it too high, it will go over too quickly without melting the butter, and you'll just end up with tiny chunks. I'm going to squeeze in my lemon. If you have your hand under it like that to catch any seeds, that's the proper way to do it. There's nothing stopping you using Sif lemon or whatever. Is it called Sif lemon? Because Gif, the washing up liquid, call itself Sif now, and I'm fairly sure it was the same people who made the squeezy lemon, so I reckon it's called Sif lemon. I don't buy the stuff personally, so I don't have a clue. because my finger's a bit too high, I've got a massive sugar popsicle. Toffee chunks. I've well and truly solid. So I'm going to add my sugar to that, because if you do it at low heat it works better. And every other time I've made it, it has worked first yet. Hey, if you dissolve your sugar into it, it'll probably work just as good. I don't know, I've never tried it this way. We shall see. Obviously with this it's, you know, there's a fine line between it not being syrup and then it becomes too hard and toffee. You're going to want to look for it being on the level you want, but not too under, because with it cooling it will solidify and become caramel sauce. I mean, it's going to be hard to show you, but that, if you could see. Pancake. Syrup. Pancake. Syrup. Pancake. Syrup. That's your traditional sweet stack, but you know, do what you like. It's yours. If you let it cool down, it'll be a pain in the ass to get off, so either mop it up or put water in it. You know, don't think you're wasting the syrup by putting water in it, because it'll be a pain in the ass to clean if you don't. Very lemony. So yeah, that's definitely worth having the lemon too, because you can definitely taste that. And that's all little under your Tate & Lyle golden syrup thickness, but it sticks to the spoon, it's runny, it's all good. It's how I like it anyway. But make it as thick as you like. If you have it too thick though, just be careful, it could solidify and bite you in the ass. And that's what pancakes are meant to be about, lemon and syrup. Perfect combination of the two. So yeah, I think we're done here. I hope you had a good pancake day, whatever you were up to. Apparently it was Women's National Day or something, and apparently International Pancake Day was actually the 1st of March. First I heard of it. But yeah, experiment, have fun, eat pancakes, have a good day.